Audience come to 61. Huh? Have you put in the slides? Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, doctor. Yes, very much.
Is it the volume is more or is it less?
It's appropriate, doctor. Perfect.
It's appropriate. Okay, good. I think we have audience of 63 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many more are we expecting?
We should have.
Actually, the registration is really overwhelming, but at least I thought let us hit 100 if possible and then start. And maybe another 1505 we can start, whatever be the numbers, those joined.
Madam, this students have been advised to take part from YouTube. So if they are getting into that, that will be very difficult for us to handle.
Yeah,
So they
exactly. That is the reason we wanted to restrict. But YouTube simultaneously, we will have a live stream.
So there will not be any restriction in the numbers.
Yeah, quite a few people,
registered.
quite a number of people are joining through that. Yes. So maybe whenever you say we should start, we can. Maybe 5 minutes, 15:05, 3:05. Is it okay, Mr. Arvindan and Mr. Dr. Girish?
Yeah, perfectly all right. Perfectly.
3 more minutes, 2 more minutes rather. We'll start. Do you think we can start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, rather good evening, everyone. I am Saraswati, Secretary General of the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And today we have this webinar under our Education Committee, thanks to Dr. Sai Prakash Leomuthu, who is the chair of our Education Committee. The Chamber has 14 expert committees and 4 working groups on different topics, domains. And this is one of the important things. And this particular topic had been extensively discussed among the education committee members and also among the members of the chamber. And we had one program, Professor Sridhar would recall. We had a program maybe 2 years back, if I'm right, say no to drugs, but we feel the abuse is in fact increasing, and that's a concern for everyone, the society as a whole, not just only the students and the faculty. But however, this particular program, we thought we will first create an awareness and some sort of suggestions to prevent amongst the faculty and the management of the education institutions, though some students are also joining as much as possible. We are also giving a live streaming YouTube, so we have requested them to join or listen through the YouTube so that this is not crowded here. So I think with this I would stop. I would request all the participants to keep your audio and video on mute to have a better kind of interaction and intervention. And I would request Dr. Sai Prakash Leomuthu to say a few words, give your welcome remarks, and set the context, and also introduce our eminent speakers of the day. Over to you, Dr. Prakash.
Thank you, Saraswati Madam. It means a lot. And this, as Madam pointed out, there are 14 verticals in Madras Chamber of Commerce, where this education is the most important, which needs to connect with all the people and make things to happen. So this education vertical, I'm fortunate to be the chair of this education vertical. Today, when we have been discussing about this youngsters, the distraction with them with mobile phone is one which we have to protect them, and but this drug abuse is getting worse, as Madam pointed out. It's getting deep into our system. And I thank our IPS Arvind sir, who is heading the narcotic, and he knows the pain what is going through in this, and we have to protect these people from this. So then, making things to happen, we have to protect. And we have one more eminent guest, Kanan Girish father. Is Girish sir is a doctor. So as a psychologist, what are the things that can be done? How to bring back to the students? And as you all know, that Sairam institution has been very fortunate to be with the United Nations. Yesterday we had an event in our campus with the United Nations Global Compact. It talks about sustainability, environment, and governance. But the governance has to protect all these things, where the students has to get involved in good practices. That's what is more important. See, they are getting yielded to these things because of the ideal mind is a devil. That's always said. So now with the artificial intelligence and the data era, students are capable of learning things beyond imagination. But this drug is making a huge dent in the progress of our development, where we are talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. We need to make a society which is going to be stronger and brighter. But the younger generation, who are the leaders of tomorrow, are getting stuck into this habit which has to be eradicated from the system. I want the people to have their hearts open. As an education institution, we have a major role. It's where it starts. And Sairam has been blessed with an nature where we have been surrounded with 1,500 acres of reserve forest. So there will not be any shop over there, and there will not be any new unwanted elements which will come near our campus. But this is not there with many people. They are not having that. And recently, I don't want to quote anyone. They were telling that near to an institution there is an liquor shop. They make around 7.5 lakhs per day, and they are saying that people are using, and we are not forcing anyone to use it. So that itself is an unethical thing which has to be stopped. So not stopping is one thing, encouraging them to the other things. So we need to have a clear cut direction from an administrative side. Arvindan sir will be giving a clarity of what has to be done, and from psychological side, Girish sir will be giving the details about that. So Abhinandan also, we met the Tio brothers, Abhinandan and Arvindan. They both are IPS, and they are blessed kids with a wonderful family. So they have been making sincere efforts. As an education institution, now it's our duty to join hands with them and take it serious. So we staying away from things, or not that you are not involved in it. வேடிக்கை பார்க்காம இருக்க வேடிக்கை பார்க்கறது ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய குற்றம் தான். ஸோ ஐபிசி ஆல்சோ டெல்ஸ் தட் தப்பு பண்ணவனோட தப்பு பண்றவனுக்கு அடைக்கலம் கொடுக்குறவன் மிகப்பெரிய குற்றவாளி என்று. ஸோ லெட்ஸ் டேக் தட் அஸ் அ சீரியஸ் நோட் ஃபார் அஸ் and make the change. And I thank all the MCC members, Sridhar sir, Preeti madam, and Loganathan sir, who has been continuously following up and making this event possible. I want to have this as a physical, but due to this war scenario, it has been glass. We don't know where we are proceeding to. Things are really tough. We have to give positivity for the students. Negatives are there everywhere. We want to have change makers and we want to have problem solvers. We should not create problem creators. So as an educational institution, that's an priority. And I thank both the distinguished guests for accepting the invitation and being here. And Arvind sir, you being here, it's a real impact. So we believe in impact creation. So inspire the students and inspire the faculty students. And Girish sir, as always, you will make wonders. So let's hope for the best to happen and open to the forum. And I thank Saraswati madam for giving in clarity. Madam, all set. I think the contest is set. Let's make it happen.
Can I request Dr. Sai Prakash to also briefly introduce Mr. P. Aravindan IPS, though he doesn't require introduction, I think courtesy demands we may have to introduce. Would you like to do that?
Yes. So Aravindan is in 2010 and we have seen a lot of your videos, sir. It's been always an inspiring for seeing your videos and what you have been doing for the society. And he is the narcotic chief bureau for Chennai zonal unit. There have been lot of positive things which has been created by sir. He has served in as an superintendent of police. He has served in 3 districts and deputy commissioner in 3 cities. It's not easy to be a deputy commissioner of a city which has different kind of people, and the proud moment for us is he is an engineer. So he is a computer science engineer from Bits Bilani. As an engineer, it's not that they have to become only meme creator. They can become a nation builders. So that's what engineering education has been somewhat criticized in the past. But without engineering, someone has been telling that if a doctor has to flourish well, he has to create more patience in the society. If a lawyer has to flourish well, so nothing wrong in it. I'm not quoting. If a lawyer has to flourish well, many criminals has to be in the society. But only if society has to flourish well, engineers has to be there in the society. So as an engineer, it's a great opportunity, and he has done his MA in public administration from Madras University. And in last few years, there has been lot of new policies which has been framed by sir. It was not easy. We have seen from Esco Pablo from that stage itself, these people are becoming super smart, and the technology what they are using is very, very high. So we have to compete with them and control them. So he is doing fabulously well job, and the highest catch was there during his tenure only. So he still best is yet to come. Sir, we are ready to support you and we want your instruction to be followed. We are open for the discussion and we will make things to make a better future and better society. And Girish sir is a doctor. He is a father of Dr. Kannan Girish. We have been following. Madam, I will share you those things also. We have been following Leader in Me program in schools and colleges. That makes a huge mind shift for the people. So Leader in Me program, the 7 habits have been inculcated in our college this year. There is a humongous appreciation from the faculties and the students. So they were able to engage with each other. They are able to collaborate and they are able to stay away from their mobile phone. They are getting to interact with each other and make a huge difference. We will share you those things also. And thanks to Madras Chamber of Commerce for making this efforts and doing this. And Saraswati madam, I have to point out your energy level is something different and you have been continuously working, and every day there is an event which is happening, and madam is orchestrating is so very well and making it happen. So wish you all the very best and open for the discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your kind words. So we would now request Mr. P. Aravindan IPS to start the presentation. Sir, after you finish, after Dr. Girish also finishes, can we have the Q&A or would you like to?
Sure, ma'am. Yeah, after doctor also completes.
Yeah, I think we can complete both the sessions, then leave the floor open. And I once again request all the participants to keep your audio and video on mute. And please post your questions in the chat. That will save time so that we can help. And depending on the time at the end, in case if we can take some questions orally, we will do that. Request your cooperation. Over to you, Mr. Aravindan IPS.
Good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am, Saraswati ma'am, and Leo Muthu sir, other members of Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and thank you for giving this opportunity along with Dr. Girish sir. It's a proud moment to address this gathering of educational institutions, founders, chairmen, and principals. To understand this problem takes a lot of effort. I would like to start from where லியோ முத்து சார் had left. அவர் சொன்னார், அதாவது ஒரு குற்றம் நடக்கிறது வந்து வேடிக்கை பார்க்குறதும் குற்றம் நடக்கிறது அடைக்கலம் கொடுக்கறதும் வந்து தப்பு அப்படின்னாரு. If you look at POCSO Act, for example, these are the two big issues which are affecting the educational institutions these days. One is this sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and how to handle this good conduct and bad conduct among the students and the faculty members. So if you look at POXO Act, it actually fixes the responsibility on the principal or on the management of the educational institution whenever a complaint is reported, how the internal complaint committee has to act upon it. If a cognizable offense is made out, what has to be done? If there is an attempt by the management to not take action on the complaint or conceal pressurizing the victim to withdraw the complaint and all that, action will be taken against the management. That's a provision in the POXO Act now. And a lot of educational institutions have faced the music under this provision. But if you look at NDPS Act, we have actually looked at the narcotics problem, drug addiction, and all those things as in a punitive angle. So whenever a person, we say that he's peddling drugs inside the educational institution or he's a consumer of the drugs in the educational institution, we actually look at him from a punitive angle, which has to change. We need to understand why this problem of addiction is happening, how educational institutions can frame policies to target this issue. Because if today's Sairam College, you are catching hold of a student who is addicted to drug, and you are taking action against him and removing from college, he will go to some other institution and repeat the same thing again, because we have not addressed the underlying problem. So what is actually the underlying problem? That is something which we need to understand. So I'll start the presentation now. I'll go to the next slide. First, we should have a basic understanding of what are all the drugs that are being peddled now among the youngsters these days. It's difficult to say every year some one new drug or the other is emerging, but the most popular drugs among the college student are these only. Ganja, alcohol, and cigarette. Most of you might be aware, but there is this new variety called as hydro weed, which is actually nothing but ganja, which is grown in a hydroponic form. Hydroponic form means it's only use water and solvents to grow it inside the room without soil and sunlight. So that is hydro weed. That is more potent compared to ganja. LSD is a stamp and MDMA is a tablet. We can say that it is amphetamine type stimulant, falls under the category of ATS. So these are the commonly abused drugs. And how these drugs are being purchased? We all know that the street peddlers are there. They are been there in the field for 20, 30 years. But the recently emerging pattern is the purchase of drugs through social media and dark web. Especially this professional educational institutions like medical colleges and engineering colleges, we have to be aware that the access to technology has given access to a lot of things for these students. So through we have seen instances where through social media the drug purchase is happening, through dark web, using dark web and cryptocurrency drug purchase is happening. A lot of cases have been busted by Narcotics Control Bureau Chennai zone. Every year we bust one very big vendor who is selling drugs through dark web. The danger of dark web is as Sarah was saying, we are surrounded by reserve forests, so most of the problems are not there. But even though the college is being immunely protected from the local street level peddlers, there is a danger of drugs which can enter the campus through courier. So whenever these drugs are placed, orders are placed for these drugs through social media and dark web, the drugs are being dispatched through postal service and courier. And it is physically impossible for the person who is standing at the gate to check all the postal orders and couriers which are entering into the college campus. So this emerging threat which we have to understand, because recently there was one major dark web vendor who was arrested in Delhi by NCB. And we naturally think that a lot of drug problem is there in metro cities, and tier 3, tier 2 cities are kind of places are kind of protected from this problem of drug abuse. But we had a person who bought the drugs from Kallakurichi. From this person sitting in Delhi, this person used cryptocurrency and bought the drugs, and the drugs were being shipped from Delhi to Kallakurichi. So this problem is going to increase in the future. The location of an institution or the proximity to a metro city is not going to be a criterion to define the drug abuse in a campus. The advent of technology, the ease of access to this apps, e-commerce apps, especially like Amazon, Swiggy, Porter, and all those things have made the access to drugs also is easy. This is something which all the managements need to know now. Next slide. So these two points I have covered: e-commerce and courier. We all know about temporary shops, especially we generally focus on petty shops, which are outside the college because they sell cigarettes and all that. But now we have to start focusing on medical shops also. Other than the traditionally known drugs, we have come across cases where the tablets are being purchased and abused. The prescription tablets like tramadol, alprazolam, or some of the tablets which are being purchased by students and abused because that also give the same kind of high which the drugs give. Recently, also we had a case where one person was lying near a hospital in North Chennai. When the police went and checked him, he was already expired, and there were some syringes found near to him. So he has bought this medicine from medical shop, and he has overdosed, and he died. So instead of going behind and identifying the different types of drugs or different types of tablets, how to, for example, you can say that if a person is smoking ganja, you can get the smell, but if he is using synthetic drug, you won't get the smell also. It is very clearly shown in this one Ajit movie. The person will be actually going out and coming in bike, sitting in his room. His parents is thinking he's normal, but he's actually taking drugs and doing chain snatching across the city. So trying to identify the drugs using the smell, this checking the bags and all those traditional things are also there, but it is not going to be effective in the future. Next. So we should actually be, I think a doctor will be able to cover even better. The management should try to focus on identifying the vulnerable persons. This is something which we had done a study in Bitspilani Goa campus. Last year, around 4 to 5 students had committed suicide in Bitspilani Goa campus. So we conducted a study there. Why these people get addicted to drugs? What is the mental health problem they face? And these are all uh, some of the criteria which we identified, which leads to addiction. So these students are categorized as vulnerable persons. I would just take a moment. You can just go through the slide. What are all the points which were identified? This is a proper study that was conducted. Every year, around 800 students are being recruited in Bitspilani Goa campus. That puts the total students in UG program around 3,000. And the PG program is around 400. Other than that, the PhD students and all those things are there. So close to 4,000 students, this study was conducted by us. It's kind of a survey based on which we were able to identify the people who are vulnerable and get addicted to drugs. So very few colleges have this kind of feedback mechanism. When we look at the problem of drug, this problem of drug should not be looked at as a drug addiction per se. We have to identify the person may be addicted to anything else. The person might be addicted to social media. The person might be having some other mental health issues, which will actually show a drop in his academic performance. Or the person might be exhibiting some suicidal tendencies because tomorrow a person is going to commit suicide inside the campus. Ultimately, the parents, relatives, and also the media is going to hold the management responsible. They are not going to ask any question to the parent. The student might be having some issues right from he was in school. But now the student is in the custody of the college, he's in the hostel or studying as a day scholar in the college. Whatever happens to the student, everybody thinks that the management should take responsibility. So the role of the management is not only in taking the classes or subjects and getting the campus interviews. The role of the management is also in improving the overall mental health of the student. Next. So how this is also part of a study where and how it starts. Generally, we found that during the odd semester compared to the even semester, during the odd semester, the initiation to drugs happen because the first semester, third semester, fifth semester is when they go for long holidays and they come back. When they go for long holidays and come back, they get influenced by friends who they studied in school together, but they are in different colleges. They generally meet up during this times. And the third semester is that semester which we found the number of students who get initiated into drugs is more. Because generally after 12th standard they come to college. Initially 1 year they have the kind of homesick behavior is there. They are a little bit inhibited. They don't actually interact a lot. So the first year is like a period of getting into the comfort zone. So once they get into the comfort zone in the third year, they feel that they have got that independence. They are not in control of their parents anymore. They are in charge of their life. They can take their own decisions. They are in conscious control of their body and mind, and they can take decisions on their own because most of them have crossed 18 years of age. So also in campuses where there are students exchange program might be happening. Students will be coming from other countries. We have some colleges where MOUs are there with African countries. So a lot of students actually come from African countries and study in those colleges. And whenever this cultural or sports events are happening, intermingling of students from other campuses happen. That is also a time when we see a market increase in the seizure of liquor, ganja, and cigarettes happening during those cultural and sports events. And yes, this clubs and department trips again, it is a very unique thing which happens with respect to BITS Pilani. I don't know, maybe some other engineering colleges also having these clubs and departments. So they will be mentored by a faculty, and sometimes they do a lot of activities inside the college. But as long as they are doing activities inside the college, it is fine. But after the cultural event or sports event is completed, they want to go for a trip somewhere to Shimla, Himachal Pradesh, or Kodaikanal, Ooty, something like that. They want to go to the trip. They get permission from the college. In some places, they don't get permission from the college. The third year and fourth year students will organize the trip. They will collect the funds from the students, book a van or a bus, and take these students for these trips. So these trips, we have found that a lot of initiation happens in these trips because the places which they choose, like there are some notorious places outside Tamil Nadu which are notorious for this drug peddling activities. One is Goa, everybody might be knowing. Second, there is a place called as Kasol in Himachal Pradesh. That is also another notorious place. And if you look at Kerala, a lot of places in Kerala, we see that the peddling of drugs, not commercial quantity, very small quantity peddling of drugs has increased a lot. So generally, when these departments are asking for permission to go for field visit or trips, the management may like to scrutinize the places which they are visiting, who are all the adult members or the faculty members who are accompanying them to these trips. That is some kind of scrutiny which has to be done. And of course, there is pressure from seniors and peer group. Previously, 10, 15 years back, at least the ragging was severe. But now the ragging thing is not there. But even then, there is a pressure from seniors to do something to prove that he is a man, or that prove that he is a part of a group. He has to do some activity and become a part of the group. These kind of things are also continuously happening in the colleges now. Next. So we also have to understand what does the law say. Because there is a lot of misconception and myth spreading among the students that consumption is not an offense. Consumption will be treated as of course we should actually treat the consumers as patients and ensure that the de-addiction rehabilitation is done and they are inducted back into the society. But still, consumption is also an offense under NDPS Act, which has to be told very clearly to students now. Probably whenever orientation is happening, the new batches of student is coming, it's better for all colleges to call the local inspector or the DSP and have a orientation session on both these acts, about the POXO Act as well as the Internal Complaints Committee, and also about this NDPS Act, so that the students are aware. Because if you can see the point number 3, you are allowing your hostel room to be used for drug consumption activity. That is also an offense. He can't say that I was not in the room. The friends wanted to take my room. I don't know what the friends were doing. That kind of defense will not be accepted in the court. And the person who is caught for repeat offense, and a person is preparing to commit an offense, all these acts are considered as offense under the NDPS Act. So this, why we have to specifically say is, the students should understand that the management obviously doesn't want the police team to enter in and make some investigation or arrest inside the campus. But if things go out of control, and if the police has to intervene and register a case, ultimately the student is who is going to lose his life. Because if your FIR is registered in Tamil Nadu, even if he tries to get a job in Calcutta, when he goes and applies in a company, immediately they will search his name in the database and find out that there is a FIR pending against this person in his hometown. It's not very difficult now. It just happens in a click of a mouse. So getting job tomorrow is going to be extremely difficult if a person gets involved in a criminal activity and an FIR is registered against him. This is also something which has to be emphasized upon the students every year. Maybe when they are coming for the first year, they will understand this and be little submissive to what the faculty members say. But after second and third year also, every time when the student comes to this campus after leave, we should be made to sign an undertaking that he will not engage in any illegal activity. And if anything like that happens, the management has the right to hand him over to the police for further investigation. Next. This I don't know if it's needed, but I just wanted to point your attention to point number 3, LSD. LSD is a very famous drug, which is the stamp. So a commercial quantity is 0.1 gram. That means if a student is found in possession of 4 stamps of LSD, which will be roughly 0.1 gram, and the police is going to catch hold of him, he is going to spend minimum 10 years in jail. If you look at ganja or other drugs, the commercial quantity is very high. Of course, a student will not carry 20 kg of ganja to college. Probably he will be carrying 5 grams, 10 grams, and all that. But LSD, they won't know. No student is going to study the NDPS Act unless we are going to show it to them in the orientation program. LSD, if the student is found carrying 4 grams of LSD, and if the management is catching hold of the student and handing over to police, he will be spending 10 years in jail minimum. So that's why we want to ensure that this is shown to all the faculty members and students. Next. This is also something which especially colleges with hostels should understand, because when we did this survey in the BITS Goa campus, they said that when the wardens wanted to go and search the rooms, when there is some suspicion, there is a lot of resistance from the students saying that this is my private place. How can you come? I am paying rent for this room, so you can't just like that come. You need to get my permission to come and search my room. All those things these students are saying. But if there's a hostel, definitely there will be wardens and other hostel assistants you might be having in your colleges. They should understand what is the power of the police officer first. If they understand that the police officer has a power to enter, search, seize, and arrest without a warrant and authorization, these wardens are also considered to be a representative of police officer inside the hostel. Though we have not given a written authorization, you are actually having a student who is on rent in your hostel room. You are the owner of the hostel room, and you have all the power to go as a owner of the hostel room. You are having all the powers to go and search inside the hostel room in case there is some suspicious activity happening inside the hostel. Why this we are saying is this identification of the this notorious students who are doing drug peddling inside the campus and taking action against them is becoming increasingly challenging for the management, because they are not aware about the rules. The students are extremely aware about the rules, human rights, and all those things they are talking. But the management, the faculty members, the wardens, they are not aware about the NDPS Act and the associated rules. That's why I have put all these sessions. Section 50 of NDPS Act provides power to police officers to conduct a personal search. Section 67, especially when you catch hold of a student, you are not able to recover any drug, you have the power to seize his cell phone, laptop, and other electronic evidences, because all the communication is right now happening over WhatsApp between the students. Also, there are a lot of apps like Snapchat, Instagram, where this communication regarding drug peddling and activities inside the campuses is happening among the students. Next. So every college and every educational institution should have a proper SOP prepared for all this, and this SOP has to be told to the students beforehand when they enter the college. The parents and the students, everybody have to be made aware that this is the SOP, this is the power of the management. The warden is representing the management, and they have the power to do all these things whenever there is a suspicion. And whenever there is a person who is getting admitted in the hospital, because there are some colleges which have engineering and medical college along with hospital in the same premises. So the student consumes something, there is some drug overdose or alcohol overdose, he gets admitted in the hospital, but he refuses to go undergo a blood test. These instances we have seen. And tomorrow, whatever action you want to take against the student, the present situation is the oral statement or a written statement given by the student cannot be used as an evidence to take action against him. If you want to take action against student, you should have proper recorded documents against him. One is the blood test. Second is whatever evidences you have gathered from the phone. Third is whatever objects or materials which you have recovered from his room. Then the management has to take a call whether the matter has to be referred to police or the disciplinary committee action should be taken. So in absence of an SOP, some incident happens, the management decides to take an action on its own, and tomorrow the media, the thing blows up in the media and the police comes to investigate. The police will ask why you didn't report this matter to us. You can't say that we wanted to take a lenient view against the student and all that. You should actually be in a position to say that we have a proper SOP in place. We have followed that SOP and taken action as per the SOP against the student. And there is in SOP itself, you have to properly define that in these scenarios, the matter will be referred to the local police station. So I request all the management to engage the local police station and if possible, doctors and psychologists to form a SOP. Whenever you find a student who is addicted, whenever you find a student who is peddling, whenever the student is doing any other illegal activity, what kind of action should be taken against him? Codify that rule. If you have a senate and everything, you just ensure that it is codified, resolution is passed, and it is properly communicated to the students whenever they join the college. Next. So what has to be done in the supply side? You have understood how the drugs enter the campus now. You have to improve the access control. For all colleges, it is not possible, especially with colleges which have hospitals attached with them. Public will be regularly coming and going. So improving the access control for the entire campus will be difficult. But at least for the hostels where the maximum chance of this illegal activities to happen, ensure that the access control is improved there. Hire a proper private security agency to take care of the security setup. Ensure that they are also trained frequently. If possible, you can engage retired police personnel also. Form an anti-drug club or anti-drug committee. Now this has been made compulsory by the state government of Tamil Nadu for schools as well as colleges. I think circular has come from higher education department. So this drug club, anti-drug club should not be just for namesake. They should conduct a lot of awareness activities. They should also have proper liaison with the faculty members and try to identify the vulnerable students. Have a mechanism where vulnerable students can be identified and reported to the management so that some kind of intervention can be done. So a person taking drugs and spoiling his life is equally as bad as a person taking his life because he has some mental illness. So the anti-drug committee should understand this aspect and have a regular channel of communication with the police department as well as the management. Point number 4, this is something which you have to work out based on the terrain and placement of your college. Just this parcels and couriers freely entering inside the college cannot be allowed anymore, including e-commerce deliveries also. It has to be restricted or regulated in some way. We can't totally ban e-commerce delivery agents from entering into the campus. Some kind of regulation should be put in place because we have seen e-commerce delivery agents bringing liquor inside the colleges for extra 20-30 rupees per bottle and all. That is happening very frequently now. And engagement with the local police, have proper interaction with the local police. Whatever issue happens, ensure that it is transparently shared with them. Not that they will take action on everything, but at least they will be able to identify the peddlers who are roaming around the college premises, and they will be able to take action on them on a regular basis. Next. I have put a slide on demand reduction because this slide why I'm putting is probably Dr. Giri sir will be able to give more clarity. 2019, a study has been conducted in our country about this problem of addiction. They have found that at least 3% of the population has some kind of addiction, either alcohol or any substance. So this 3% applies to every sample size which is being taken. For example, your college is having 3,000 students. We can safely say that minimum 3% of the students have some problem. They are addicted to either alcohol or some substance. So if that is the case, I would request Dr. Sir to elaborate in this point because I don't want to go into this how to improve the mental health of the students, identify these vulnerable groups, and address this problem of demand. Try to reduce this 3% to 1% itself will be a big success inside the campuses. Next. So this is again a repeating of whatever points that have been given. Ensure that there is CCTV placement in all the campuses. Now the technology is very cheap. It is not very costly like it used to be before. So whatever incident happens now, the students have become more litigant in nature. So they will say that the staff behaved with us very rudely. They were a male security person are checking the female students, and all those problems will be easily raised by the students. So ensure that the CCTV coverage is there. This college is also considered to be a public place. So you have all the right to put CCTV cameras in corridors of the buildings, in corridors of the hostels also. And the security personnel should be trained to do proper patrolling, especially in colleges where there are hostels. How the patrolling should be done, all those training should be given to them. And certainty of punishment, there should not be leniency. Like many colleges, what happens is one kind of person receives a kind of punishment, other type of person will be let off because of various reasons. Maybe he's very active in sports and culturals, and he has got good reputation to the college, or he is related to some faculty member or management. These kind of things which we have seen will actually, reduce the trust of the students on the management. And whenever small issue happens, the entire students will going to revolt against the management, just because of we have not codified the punishment, and we have not given uniformity and certainty of punishment to the students who are indulging in these activities. And this broken window theory is something which you have to all have to know, because whenever minor delinquencies happen, if it is not addressed, then when a major incident is going to happen, it will be becoming very difficult for us to address. So whenever there is a minor problem, I'm saying it's every campus is supposed to be a smoke-free, tobacco-free campus and a liquor-free campus. But if some sort of this incident happens and the management is not taking action, then from alcohol to tobacco, they will slowly migrate to hard drugs. So ensure that your campus is made drug free. When we say it is drug free, it should be alcohol free and as well as tobacco free. That is what broken window theory talks about. And get proper feedback from the parents and students, so that some incident happens tomorrow, there should not be a situation that the management is on different page and the students and the parents are on a different page. Next. So these are the 4 points which you have to, 4 pillars of ensuring that your campus is secure, campus is drug free. And the most ignored part of these 4 is this punishment and feedback. Most of the campuses we have seen that the punishment is not there, and the feedback from the students and the parents also is not being taken properly. So if this is improved, definitely you can make your campus as a drug free campus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arvindan. It's a wonderful presentation, very candid, a little scary though, but very factual, and you have almost given a 360-degree view, who should do what. And the ultimate thing, as you see, the students, probably they do it on a short-term pleasure, but the kind of repercussions that's going to have on them, on their health, future, family, is something really worrisome. I think, as you rightly said, maybe as a society, the parents, house, college, the faculty, everybody has a role. And since this program is more focused on the faculty and management, you have rightly covered the points. Dr. Sai Prakash, you want to add anything to what he said? And then before we move to Dr. Girish?
Yes, first of all, I'd like to thank Aravindan for making an elaborate presentation, and it's been an eye-opening. And I have one question, madam. You have put the question to the last. I have one thing. Aravind sir, you were talking about the section 42, 50, and 67, where that verification for police, it's been allowed. What about the hostel warden and the faculty members? What is their role in it?
Sir, this NDPS Act actually does not clearly mention about what is the thing that has to be done in colleges, and what is the power that has to be given to wardens or the management. But we have to.
We'll discuss that in person. Then all students are watching. We'll have a discussion about that in person.
Yes, but
So
we
we'll
have
take
to
it.
assume that the wardens and the management derive power from the NDPS Act, because they are standing in the front line, and the student does not own the hostel premises, or the student does not own the classroom premises. If the management is saying that I have to check your room, the student has to willingly cooperate with that. This has to be codified, and the student has to. Why I'm asking this has to be codified is, tomorrow the student should not come and say that there is arbitrary action that is being taken.
Fine.
So that's why I'm insisting that codify a set of rules and regulations, and get the students, parents, and management on the same page.
So we have done in our SOP that has been given while the admission itself, and they have signed. But now people are saying that we have not read anything. We have signed in just like that. Whenever you show, wherever you show, we are signing. That has become a problem now. So we have added all those things, and it has been there. But see, the excuses always people will find way to move from that. And it has been elaborate and very clear. I want you to present this for the students in person sometime. So this is very important, and for the faculties. And thanks for what you have been doing. You are doing an fabulous work for the society, and thanks for it. And many things are waiting with Girish sir. So let's see what he is saying as a psychologist. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sai Prakash. And can I request Professor Sridhar Narayanan to introduce Dr. Girish and before he starts his presentation?
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the opportunity, madam, and great presentation by our Dr. Mr. Arvindan. And it's a privilege and honor to introduce Dr. K. Girish, who is a distinguished medical professional and pioneer in neurosciences, uniquely recognized as the first in India and Asia to be both a neurophysician and neurosurgeon. He completed his MD General Medicine from the University of Madras in 1981, followed by a doctorate in neurology in 1984 and MCH in neurosurgery in 1990. He is also a specialist in neuroacupuncture and has received training in bioethics from UNESCO Israel, along with a postgraduate diploma from the University of Porto, Portugal. With over 25 years of teaching experience, he has served as professor of neurosurgery at Madras Medical College and Kilpack Medical College, and as associate dean at SRM Medical College. He is an accomplished author of 7 books and has contributed significantly to neuroscience research, including work on brain tumors, spinal injuries, and head trauma. Dr. Girish has been deeply involved in community service, organizing over 2,000 neurological health campuses across Tamil Nadu. He is also an active member of Lions Clubs International, having held key leadership roles and contributed extensively to social causes. His contributions have earned him several prestigious awards, including the Best Donor Award from Tamil Nadu MGR Medical University, the IMA Community Service Award, and the Lions Club International Ambassador of Goodwill Award. And keenly looking forward for your presentation and discussion, sir. Dr. Girish, over to you.
Yes. Distinguished the Madras Chamber of Commerce Secretary, Mrs. Saraswati, distinguished Chairman and CEO of Sai Ram Institutions, Mr. Sai Prakash, Mr. P. Aravindan, IPS, Additional Director, Narcotics Control Bureau, Chennai and Hyderabad Zone Unit, and distinguished other faculties, as well as all the participants. I'm very proud and I'm very thankful to the Secretary of Madras Chamber of Commerce, as well as Mr. Sai Prakash, the Chairman and CEO of the Sai Ram Institutions, for giving me this golden opportunity to address you all. In fact, I very much wanted to be an offline and a one-to-one, face-to-face, but unfortunately, due to certain extraneous situations, we had to be on the web. Will be for 35 or 40 minutes. What's the time, Mrs. Saraswati? Hello.
Yeah, I think you can go ahead for 40 minutes. 35 minutes is the time mentioned. Maybe we can have 5 more minutes. 40 minutes.
I think 45 minutes I was told. Anyway, that's fine. I just wanted to test that. Well, we start off the slides. I'm just sharing the slide. Can all of you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
No.
Hello?
Yes, we are able to see, sir.
All of you are able to see?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to see your slides. Yeah, please go ahead.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is an article that has come up in 19th November 2024 in New Indian Express. That is, the High Court, in fact, has been recommending to form a panel with the state and central officers to end the drug menace. No drugs. The court recorded a report filed by the Additional Advocate General, J. Ravindran of Tamil Nadu, enlisting the actions that have been taken to combat the drug menace to the Madras High Court. And they did, in fact, ask for a special wing. And these are some of the statistics that was reeled out, the arrests that have been made, the type of substances that have been got, and the number of cases like ganja chocolates, ganja oil that have been caught, and how many vehicles that have been transporting these have been caught during that time. And the court directed the state government to ensure no shops other than eateries and stationaries that are located within 100 meters of educational institutions. And there have been the circular should be put up in all schools and colleges to put up in the notice boards highlighting the consequences of the use and sale of these drugs. Very important. I'm sorry, the slide has gone out. Just wait 1 minute. Just we corrected ourselves. And also mention exactly what our Mr. Ravindran had said, P. Aravindan had said that they mentioned the punishment also in the circular and notice boards. And further, a complaint box should be placed on the campus of all educational institutions. Scouts and NCCs to conduct awareness program. This is again very, very important because they are a committed lot. I had been doing this say no to drugs in various colleges, and I have found the NCC, they're very good, especially in Sai College. I have done it twice or thrice, and very committed people. And also, the judges ordered that education authorities and the police must conduct periodic inspections in and around the schools and colleges, and also couriers. And couriers also has got, in fact, to be what you can say, put up. Could you share with them? Now, this is something which should echo in every campus. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். This is something which should echo in every one of these awareness programs, which you should have at least once in 6 months, as Mr. Aravindan says, form a club specifically for this, by the students, of the students, for the students. Very important. And now I go to the drug abuse and awareness program. I'm a neurophysician and neurosurgeon. And also, I'm a community, neurologist and neurosurgeon in the sense that I do a lot of services for the community. And this is also one such. I'm going to address you on this following grounds. What are the various narcotic and psychotropic drugs, the side effects of these party drugs, and how can the abuse be prevented? And a short video from the Tamil Nadu police, what they have done on a beautiful song. And some slogan to reduce drug abuse and a pledge against drug abuse. These are some of the drugs which have been enumerated very well. And the commonly used drugs are MDMA, 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine, cocaine, methamphetamine, ketamine, LSD, gamma hydroxybutyrate, cannabis, psilocybin, opium, and synthetic cannabinoids. Neocannabinoids. Now, let me tell each one of them something, how it is available, and then I will club the side effects of these party drugs, which every student and every teacher should know about this. This is a detailed breakdown. MDMA. It is called, it's good, but it is not called as MDMA. It will be called by various other drugs, love drugs, party pill, hug drugs, disco biscuits, beans, happy pill. It's available as pill, powder. Now, all these drugs, they alter the chemicals of the brain. You see, that serotonin, dopamine, endorphins. These chemicals are being altered. There are pleasure hormones. All these chemicals are being altered in the brain. That's what exactly happens. So this MDMA goes by different names. Administered by mouth, snorting pills, capsule. The onset of action usually by intravenous. If you give it in the vein, it is around 5 minutes, and duration of action is around 6 hours. MDMA. Cocaine. Coke, crack, white powder gudia, Charlie, rock, dust, nose, candy, blue, white stuff. It goes different. very often. It can be putty, it can be anything, you know. Then white powder, also smoked as crack cocaine. And this also alters the chemical imbalance, produces not only of the brain, but also of the other sympathetic and parasympathetic system. So again, this is the form of a snorting, smoke, another 10 to 15 minutes. Duration is 60 minutes. Methamphetamine, madness drug, shabu, speed, crank, blue, poor man cocaine. And it again produces a massive hormonal release. Again, it gets administered as smoking, injection, snorting, or rectal. Onset of action is 5 minutes and duration is up to 12 hours. Ketamine, it is called K or vitamin K, super K, jet, lady K. And these again, you know, can be available as IV, snorting, oral, sublingual. It is available as a powder or liquid. And LSD, acid, blotter, drips, stamp, loosey, paper, alters the serotonin receptor activities. It can be taken oral, sugar cubes. I think there is something. I'm sorry for that. There's some problem with this keyboard. Huh? Okay. LSD is this. So you can see that in the pictures too. GHB, gamma hydroxybutyrate. It's a liquid one. It's a liquid or powder often mixed with drinks. This is a very dangerous one because you won't know in a party drug. Usually this happens in birthday parties or get-togethers. You know, it is poured into the orange juice or any other juice and being given, and automatically, immediately, in no time, you know, they go off and they won't remember what exactly happened during that time. Is administered oral, mixed into a drink, sublingual. Onset of action is around 15 to 30 minutes. Duration is 6 hours. Cannabis, now the ganja, balm, charas, dope, pot, grass, smoke, herb, and it's all that's the various actions again. It binds on certain receptors in the brain, and it can be administered by smoking, vaping, using vaporizers, edibles, sublingual, and onset of action again 15 to 30 minutes and goes up to 12 hours. Psilocybin is a magic mushrooms. It also goes by different names actually. It is eating raw mushroom, mushroom tea, mixing with fruit capsule. This is again another method. 9 is a opium. I mean kazumba, madak, dodak, mal, fool, poppy, black stuff, tar. These are all the various quote names that are being used, but these keep changing very often. And they too have got this effect. Yes, and the last one is the synthetic cannabinoids. They are human-made chemicals that mimic the effects of the tetrahydrocannabinol, the most effective one found in the cannabis. And these substances are also referred to as the spice, black mamba, crazy clown, fake weed, Scooby snacks, mojo cloud, green giant, fire king. This goes by various names, the cannabinoids. So again, this can be administered, and onset of action is usually very high when used sublingual, that beneath the tongue, or in an IV format. They are more dangerous. And many of these overdose, when they become an addict, that means you can't be without it. You have adverse reactions without it. That's an addiction. And when they become addict, they go in for overdose because they become tolerant, and death can occur. Now let us see the side effects of these party drugs. Majority of them act on the brain. You see? And, you know, it can produce impairment, anxiety, psychosis. This is what you can say is one. And you see the beautiful brain. You can see the brain here, beautiful brain. This is the anterior portion of the brain. The anterior portion, this is the high-level thinking, everything takes place, judgment, abstract thinking. Here's your the memory, the hearing, and the vision is located over here. And this is a conglomeration of content of consciousness is located in this particular area. Your motor strip, sensory strip, your brainstem, cerebellum, coordination, and all of them will, it will act on every cell. All of them will go haywire. This is the emotional brain. That what you see in the green color. You're loving, raring, caring, everything is in this particular area. That is called the hippocampus, the amygdaloid body, and that is where all your emotions occurs, cingulate cortex. And the blood supply for the brain, my ladies and gentlemen, is only oxygen. Blood is carrying. The only two nutrients are essential, oxygen and glucose for the brain to function. And, this is carried by the blood. You can see the beautiful brain which God has endowed on each one of us. And that is how we think, understand, reason, learn, what you can say, and do abstract thinking, judgment. Everything is because of this brain. The brain is acting from anterior to posterior, superior to inferior, right to left, left to right, round the clock. Round the clock, this beautiful brain is working, which has been endowed by God for us. At no time, my dear ladies and gentlemen, we should never try to spoil this brain. Such a beautiful entity. And you look under the microscope, you get the shock of your life, seeing how the blood vessels are floating in the CSF, in that fluid, It has got certain strands fixed. It is such a beauty to see that actually brain, what God has given us. And if you take a small section, as you see here, one blue section is here, that blue square. I'm just cutting a little. And now you see that a neuron and dendrite and an axon. You have 86 billion neurons. This has been counted actually using a technique by an Italian neuroscientist, that is the Herculano Susano. 86 billion neurons continuously working in your beautiful brain, which God has endowed on you all. This is exactly, you can see how it's functioning.
Neurons communicate using electrical signals that travel along their branch-like structures called axons. But how does one neuron pass information to another? That's where neurotransmitters come in. When an electrical impulse reaches the end of an axon, it triggers the neurotransmitters into the synapse.
Communication takes place between the neurons in your brain. These are all endowed on you. You do not know it unless you can say you studied all this under a microscope.
Neurons communicate.
And what is the effect of the drug on the brain? Let us see now. Delusions, fixed set false beliefs. Someone has installed a camera here. They are looking at me. Suddenly you feel I am the leader of the world. Suddenly you feel worms crawling in the stomach. Suddenly you feel that someone is in love with me after taking the drug. That's it. What happens after the drug is being taken? It goes into your brain. And I got all the neurons. And it does the transmission of neurotransmitters. Everything goes haywire. See, யாரோ ஒருவர் கண்காணிப்படுத்தி யாரோ ஒரு என்ன பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பயம். நான் உலகில் ஒரு பெரிய தலைவன், அப்படி ஒரு நினைப்பு. வயிற்றில் ஊர்ந்து செல்லும் புழுக்கள், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு உணர்வு. யாரோ ஒருவர் என்னை காதலிக்கிறார் என்ற ஒரு நினைப்பு. இதெல்லாமே தான் இதனோட பக்க விளைவுகள், பின் விளைவுகள். Hallucinations. There won't be anybody in this particular, you're sitting in a room, you won't find anybody, but you see somebody there. You see? Hearing a voice, abnormal voice, seeing a figure walking across the room, hands crawling on the arm, smell of burned rubber, abnormal taste without eating or drinking. Any one of these can occur. You see? These are all the various effects which disturbs the chemical imbalance, produces a chemical imbalance on the brain. Is it essential for us? Paranoid, suspicious, that you think that others are laughing at you. Somebody is following you. Somebody is staring at me. All this can occur after taking the drug and the drug's effect on the brain. Oh, my dear ladies and gentlemen, should you have this, come on, tell in your mind, no to drugs, yes to good life, no to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். அப்படி நீங்க நினைங்கள். Actually, please do that, at least by whisper it, because in a class, I make the students repeat this every time I say a side effect. It can increase your heart rate. Your heart is such a beautiful organ working for 24 hours. All the organs in your whole system is working 24 மணி நேரம் ஒட்டிக்கிச்சு வேலை செய்து இருக்காங்க, இதயம் துடித்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. அந்த இதயத்தில் ஒட்டிக்கிச்சு இந்த போதைப் பொருள் போய் ஒட்டிக்கிச்சு எல்லாமே ஒட்டிக்கிச்சு செயலிழந்துடும். See, it starts beating irregularly. See, these are all the things that can occur with your heart. So therefore tell you, ladies and gentlemen, please tell in your mind, repeat it. No to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம் என்று நினைங்கள் நீங்கள். In கல்லீரல், that's again a very important organ on your right side of your chest and below the tummy, right side of your tummy. If you palpate with your hand, you see the beautiful liver which is there. This is the beautiful liver. This is the beautiful liver. You can see the liver here. Liver. This is the stomach. The food comes into the stomach and then goes to the liver. And liver contains 500 metabolic activities are taking place in the liver. From the liver, the energy goes for the heart and the brain. That is how the brain is working 24 hours and the heart is working 24 hours. Your intestines are working 24 hours, my ladies and gentlemen. Should you want to spoil this? No. Say no to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். Kidneys, it can affect what you can say your kidneys. Kidneys secrete all the bad things out of your body. Even that what you can say can get affected. Then, so I tell you, my dear students, no to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். Lungs, நுரையீரல், even that what you can say gets disturbed. It is your lungs which takes all your breath inside and filters the oxygen and sends it to your brain and to your heart and to all other organs. Please understand that. So therefore, would you want to destroy your lungs? No. Say no to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். Your muscles can get stiff. Your immune system, எதிர்ப்பு சக்தி மண்டலம், எந்த ஒரு கிருமியோ நம்ம பாடிக்குள்ள நுழைந்தால் அதை கொன்று விடுந்தது, அந்த எதிர்ப்பொருள்களை அனுப்பி அதை கொன்று விடுந்தது நம்ம எதிர்ப்பு சக்தி மண்டலம் தான். அதுவே செயலிழந்து விட்டுடும். Even our immune system, which is God has given us in our body, that gets destroyed. So therefore, this is not essential. Say no to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். Very important. Even alcohol is a poison. Now you can say, my dear students, alcohol is a poison. Alcohol, there is no doubt about it. Alcohol, what happens when you take it? It goes from your mouth and through the esophagus. It comes to the stomach and later goes to the liver. The liver has got 500 metabolic activities that are taking place. And it is from the liver the energy goes for the heart as well as for the brain and for the beautiful intestines, which are all working without our knowledge for our energy and for us to keep moving. That would get destroyed. And the final end stage of alcohol is this. And alcohol goes and damages the liver, and once the liver fails, I can tell you, you'll have to go in for a liver transplantation, which will be several lakhs actually. Think about all this, whether it is essential or not. Alcohol is a poison. This is how your alcohol brain will look. This is the last slide here. The alcohol brain, what you can say, will look. Therefore, no to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். Now, how can the drug abuse be prevented? You have the International Drug Against Abuse. Say no to drugs, breaking the chains, prevention, treatment, and recovery for all. Now, of course, India is sandwiched between countries and we form the Golden Triangle. The Golden Crescent area includes Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran. And the Golden Triangle comprises Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Laos. So you should understand the reasons, as Mr. Arvind was telling, the reasons behind the drug abuse has to be analyzed. Now, what are the reasons why students do take it? One is out of curiosity. See, what exactly is this? That is one. And then they become an addict. Peer pressure, friends pressure. Come on, take it. Is it? Let us enjoy life. Peer pressure. Stress of studies. Usually studies, what happens is, they take jovial, they postpone, then they get internal assessment exam, the internal assessment, they lose marks, then suddenly they get depressed. And when they get depressed, they go in for this sort of a mechanism. If they study, students study the same portion on the same day with a fixed timetable, I can tell you success will be theirs. That goal has to be identified, especially during the induction program. They have to be told how to cope up with stress for studies, which I've been doing it regularly for the past several years. Mental health issues, some of them might have, mental health issues which have to be identified, and or you can say treatment availability has to be maintained. Easy access to the drugs. That is another very important area where our police official was telling that you must have good security and what you can say going around. And then economic challenges, unemployment, and a gloomy future, negative thinking, all these can lead to, and family environment also. Sometimes the parental, broken family, divorce, all this can lead the children, in fact, into this. Desire for enhanced performance. That's another very important that use the actually stimulants. You see? Now, this is a very important component of a presentation. How can the teachers identify early signs of drug addiction among the students? Because in parent-teachers meeting, I have seen, as a dean, the parents come and say, hey, they students are with you from morning 9 to evening 5, and they're coming back only at around 6:37. They are with us only for 2 hours. After that, they go and sleep. It is you people who have to identify what is happening with my son or daughter. In a way, it is right, but we should have the cooperation of the parents too. Now, therefore, I would like to tell the teachers, how do you identify the signs of drug addiction among the students? Sudden drop in academic performance, திடீரென மதிப்பெண்கள் குறைவு, poor concentration in the class, வகுப்பில் கவனம் குறைவு, incomplete homework, வீட்டுப்பாடம் செய்யாமல் வருதல், frequent absenteeism, அடிக்கடி பள்ளிக்கு வராமல் இருப்பது, sleeping in class always, வகுப்பில் தூங்குவது. These are some subtle changes. A student who is very active now seems to having these changes. The teacher should be alert. Irritability, எளிதில் கோபம் அல்லது சீற்றம். Secretive behavior, ரகசியமாக நடந்து கொள்வது. Isolation from friends, நண்பர்களிலிருந்து விலகி இருப்பது. Loss of interest in sports or hobbies, விளையாட்டு அல்லது பொழுதுபோக்கில் ஆர்வம் குறை. Frequent lying or excuses they make. Then உடல் அறிகுறிகள், physical signs, red eyes, dilated pupils, frequent tiredness, அடிக்கடி சோர்வாக இருக்கும். திடீரென உடல் எடை குறைவு, sudden weight loss, poor personal hygiene. அவங்களை பார்க்கும்போது they will not have a groomed hair, they'll be dressed little shabbily. A teacher can easily identify when they see this, because they have a close contact with the students. And this man's boy is not the same as what he was earlier. There is something behind him. We'll have to identify. Then you will have to call him and have a special session. Social warning signs, sudden change in the friend circle, திடீரென நண்பர்கள் மாறுவது, spending time with unknown or older people, avoiding teachers, ஆசிரியர்களை தவிர்க்க முயற்சிகள், staying in isolated places, தனிமையான இடங்களில் அதிக நேரம் செலவிடுவது. Psychological signs, anxiety, பதட்டம், depression, மனச்சோர்வு, மனநிலை திடீர் மாற்றம், உற்சாகம் இல்லாமல், lack of motivation, and உணர்ச்சியில் விலகி இருப்பது, emotional withdrawal. So what should the teachers do? Observe the student carefully. மாணவரை கவனமாக கண்காணிக்க வேண்டும். Talk to the students privately if you find any one of these symptoms or signs. தனியாக அழைத்து அமைதியாக பேச வேண்டும். Inform the school counselor. பள்ளி ஆலோசகரிடம் தெரிவிக்க வேண்டும். Inform the parents sensitively. பெற்றோரிடம் நிதானமாக கூற வேண்டும். And seek professional help if needed. This is what the teacher should do. Never publicly label them, never go with punishment immediately, but try to isolate them, see that they come back to normalcy. That is the ultimate goal of any teacher, because students are a treasure. Students are a treasure, and they are the future of our nation. ஆசிரியர்கள் செய்யக்கூடாதவை. That is, you should not shame the student in public. Never, never do that. Do not label the student as a drug addict. போதைப் பொருள் பழக்கம் உள்ளவன் என்று முத்திரை குத்த வேண்டாம். Do not punish immediately. உடனே தண்டனை வழங்க வேண்டாம். Do not spread rumors. வதந்திகளை பரப்ப வேண்டாம். These are the things you should not do. Early identification by teachers can save a student's future. ஆசிரியர்கள் ஆரம்பத்தில் அறிகுறிகளை கவனித்தால் ஒரு மாணவனின் எதிர்காலத்தை காப்பாற்ற முடியும். That is the most important thing. Those teachers have to play a very, very great role. Teachers are actually walking along with the students. We cannot blame the management and other people. It is up to the teachers' hands to see that they are identified, they are given special counseling, and see that they are brought into the mainstream. We have a great role. And I've been a teacher for the past 25 to 30, well, past more than 35 years. Addressing these factors require a comprehensive approach. Education, mental health support, community engagement, and policy interventions. So these are some of the things. So therefore, I always make everybody repeat: no to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை பருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். Now, these are some of the, as exactly what Mr. Aravindan has been telling. He has covered all these, like public awareness and education, and strengths, legislation enforcement, promoting the treatment and rehabilitation, community engagement, address the root causes, school, college, and interventions, law enforcement and strengthening, harm reduction strategies, cultural and religious support, government initiatives, and international collaboration. I think this fairly has been covered. And this act also, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act, has to be told to the students. They must be told they are either engineer or they are doctor or they are lawyer. If a case is filed and then they are behind bars after that punishment, then their life is finished. This, if they become aware about it, then they will understand, oh, no, I have not come for this into the college. I had a different goal totally. This is very, very important. This beautiful act is passed by both houses of parliament and received the assent from the then president on 16th September 1985. And the most important is the small quantity, commercial quantity, and each one of them varies actually. Exactly highlighted by our Mr. Mr. Aravindan IPS has in fact already said it. Now, the small quantity, there is a bail, but the punishment is up to 6 months and 10,000. Between the small and the large quantity, rigorous imprisonment up to 10 years and up to 1 lakh, and there is a non-bailable. And commercial quantity, again, you find it is a rigorous punishment, 10 and 20 years, fine up to 1 lakh to 2 lakhs, and this will be the bail, not the non-bailable. Now, this punishment has to be in the awareness program. Every student should know about this. Then they know they are there for a different purpose, and they cannot fall into this trap. They themselves will take the decision. We should create awareness programs in such a way that the students themselves will decide, no, this is not for what we have entered this college. That's very important. That is a duty of every teacher. This is by the government of India, the Nasha Mukta Bharat Abhiyan, launched by the Ministry of Social Justice, August 15, 2020. It's a beautiful one. It's for a drug-free India, focused on 372 districts. And they're also doing awareness generation, community engagement, counseling and rehabilitation. And these are some of the key components of the NMBA. And this is about, as of recent reports, NMBA sensitized over 10 crore people, including 3 crore youth and 2 crore women, and complementary measures. And one of the most important thing is implementing school-based programs and public campaigns to inform about the dangers of drug use. These are the legislations. And by integrating these strategies with initiatives like NMBA, India is aiming to effectively combat drug abuse and promote a healthier society, even in Tamil Nadu with the stringent measures. Now I have seen courier people tell that such drugs are not coming now because of the stringent measures adopted by the government, which of course Mr. P. Aravindan IPS has in fact highlighted now. Therefore, no to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். And now let us see this video song. It's a beautiful song, in fact, I usually give the lyrics of everyone and all of us sing it together. It's by the Kalakurchi district, the police. It takes only around 3 minutes. And after this will be a pledge, which I'll read out and you put up.
போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத விளையாட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கிற போத அந்த போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத வினையாலே மாறி போது வாழ்க்கையோட பாத போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத விளையாட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கிற போத அந்த போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத வினையாலே மாறி போது வாழ்க்கையோட பாத போதையால கௌரவமா வாழ்ந்தவங்க யாரு அந்த பழக்கத்தால அழிஞ்சவங்க பல்லாயிரம் பேரு குடிக்கும் போது எல்லாருமே கூட்டம் கூடுவாங்க கஷ்டம்னு சொல்லி பாரு கண்டுக்க மாட்டாங்க போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத விளையாட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கிற போத அந்த போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத வினையாலே மாறி போது வாழ்க்கையோட பாத உண்மையில போதைய நீ விரும்பாதப்பா. போதை என்பதே உன்னை அழிக்கும் பாதப்பா. அந்த போதையில நல்ல பாதை இங்க இல்லப்பா. கஞ்சாவுக்கு அடிமையான வாழ்க்கை வீணா போகும். போதைக்கு மயங்கி போன மரணம் வந்து சேரும். கஞ்சாவுக்கு அடிமையான வாழ்க்கை வீணா போகும். போதைக்கு மயங்கி போன மரணம் வந்து சேரும். போத 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 உன்னை நீ அழிக்கும் பாத. விளையாட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கிற போத அந்த போத. போத 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 உன்னை நீ அழிக்கும் பாத. வினையாலே மாறி போது வாழ்க்கையோட பாத. அழிய போற பாதையில மறந்து நீயும் போற. ஆன்சு போட்ட கேன்சர் வந்து சீக்கிரமா போவ. குடிச்சு குடிச்சு இருந்தவங்க எத்தனையோ பேரு. இருந்தவன கொஞ்சமாத நினைச்சு நீயும் பாரு. போத 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 உன்னை நீ அழிக்கும் பாத. விளையாட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கிற போத அந்த போத. போத 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 உன்னை நீ அழிக்கும் பாத. வினையாலே மாறி போது வாழ்க்கையோட பாத. பள்ளி மாணவனே வாலிபனே விழித்து கொள்ளுங்க. குள்ளி போட பின் விளைவ தெரிஞ்சு கொள்ளுங்க. அந்த பாதிப்பெல்லாம் வராமலே பார்த்து கொள்ளுங்க. இந்த பழக்கத்துல இருந்தா உங்களை மாத்தி கொள்ளுங்க. கஞ்சாவுக்கு அடிமையான வாழ்க்கை வீணா போகும். போதைக்கு மயங்கி போன மரணம் வந்து சேரும். போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத. விளையாட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கிற போத அந்த போத. போத 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 உன்னை நீயே அழிக்கும் பாத. வினையாலே மாறி போது வாழ்க்கையோட பாத.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். And these are various slogans you can make the students right. Say no to drugs, yes to life. Your future is priceless. Don't trade it for drugs. Be stronger than you strong excuse. Stay drug free. உங்கள் வலுவான சாக்கு போக்கை விட வலுவாக இருங்கள். போதை பொருளின்றி இருங்கள். Life is the ultimate high. Don't let drugs steal it away. போதை ஜோடிக்கின்ற வேண்டாம் என்று சொல்லுங்கள். வாழ்க்கைக்கு ஆம் என்று சொல்லுங்கள். Be smart, don't start. Drugs are not cool. Stay in school. மருந்துகள் நொடிக்கின்ற குளிர்ச்சியானவை அல்ல. பள்ளியில் இருங்கள். Don't let drugs turn your dreams into nightmares. High grades, not high on drugs. Choose your friends and not drugs. No to drugs, yes to good life. No to drugs, yes to good life. போதை மருந்துகள் வேண்டாம், நாங்கள் ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கை வாழ விரும்புகிறோம். And this is a pledge which I take every student, in fact, to take it. I'll just read out the English one. As a student and individual, accept and pledge to follow all the rules and laws established by country regarding the use of drugs. To demonstrate my support, I pledge that I will live a drug-free life. I will show my friends that a drug-free life is more fun. I will not cover up a lie for my friends if any rules are broken. I will hold them fully responsible and accountable for their actions. I will seek information assistance in dealing with my own or my friends' problems relating to drugs. I will not accept the use or sale of drugs in the community. I'll be honest and open with my parents about my feelings and problems. I will work with others to help spread the truth about drugs so together we create a drug-free community. I pledge to support India's national anti-drug campaign by taking a stand against alcohol and drug abuse. That's indeed, ladies and gentlemen, just say no to drugs, yes to life. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. அவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி அரிது அரிது மானிடராதல் அரிதுன்றார் அவர். இவ்வளவு ஆர்கன்ஸ் நமக்கு எடுக்க போறோம்ட்டு. பட் தட் awareness really has to be spread. Thank you for that energetic presentation. The Professor Sridhar, would you like to add anything here? There are some questions. We can take that and we can see whether some more questions can be taken from the audience if time permits.
We'll go for Q&A, ma'am, first, and then we'll go for pointers and vote of thanks.
Sorry, sir, your voice feeble. Sorry. Okay. I'm getting it. Yeah.
I can see a question. As engineering students, how can we contribute to this noble cause? By Roshan. I think, Roshan, you got a lot to do. I've told you what to do. You see, you have either forming a club or NCC or cadet corps every 3 months. Your memory, public memory is very, very short. Even if I give advice to my patients, I ask them how long will be there in your memory. And the நினைவாற்றல்ல ஒரு மாதம் மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும். Only 4 weeks. After that, it will be there in the brain. Suddenly, if they see me, they will remember everything. So that is why every 3 months, you must have an awareness program on the side effects, on what the drugs, the side effects of the drugs, and the punishments are there when you possess with the drugs. This has to be told. And I can tell you, in a college where I was the dean, there wasn't any ragging for 8 years when they knew what is the punishment awaiting for them when they rag. You know that? But no force was used. The awareness was from the students themselves. So, engineering students, you have got a great role to play, Roshan. Tell your colleagues.
Thank you.
There is one question to Mr. Arvindan. How can the public support law enforcement agencies in combating drug abuse and trafficking?
Sir, I have actually covered that in the chat box itself. One is how we can contribute is we have to spread the message. As doctor said, the awareness should be happening regularly, and it's not like the awareness should be restricted to few players. It's not like only the NGO should do. It's not the NCC or the Rotary or the Lions Club should do. The awareness should be done by any person. Awareness can be done by you because now you know the problem of addiction. You can tell it to your family members and friends. Second is whenever there is a this peddling or some activity which is going on around in the area which you know, we have to be fearless and bold and lodge a complaint. That is something. There is a lot of myths that if we give a complaint, our identity will not be protected. So I have given the phone numbers also. 1933 is the Manas helpline with the central government where the addiction as well as peddling can be reported. Drug Free Tamil Nadu has an app and also a toll-free phone number. Both the numbers I have given in the chat box. And third thing is, whenever right now the problem is if a person is addicted, he doesn't know what to do next. As a parent, if his son or daughter is having some problem, addiction, we don't know what to do next. So we have to tell them that there is professional help available. In every district hospital, some psychologists are there. There are bed facilities. The government is doing a lot of steps to improve the infrastructure to treat this problem of addiction. So whenever there is a problem, instead of stigmatizing him, as the doctor had pointed out in the presentation, the person should be allowed to encourage to seek professional help so that the problem is sorted out. These are the three things which I want to highlight for your questions, sir. Thank you.
And Mr. Sai Prakash, Dr. Sai Prakash, I can volunteer myself, for your students at any point of time to say no to drug campaign. I can do
Thank you, doctor. Thanks for that. And as always, it's been energetic, and there are change makers who will take it forward to other students also. So let's hope for the best to happen.
Thank you.
If there are no questions, I would like to pose a question or its ideation with the permission of President of our Chairman of our committee and with Secretariat. Mr. Arvindan, you're highlighting about the survey of BITS Pilani, Goa. What is the time involved, or what is the cost, or is it feasible with the Secretariat? I'm also ideating saying with our CSR committees and other things, doing a survey of studies in few colleges which volunteer to do this, or how to spread this message by survey and taking it forward can be a good tool as part of the education committee. Though I leave it to the chairman and the secretary to work on this. Mr. Arvindan, you can highlight on that.
Yes, sir. I think it's a very interesting aspect. Now, the state of Tamil Nadu actually is doing a survey with the help of, if I'm not wrong, CMC Vellore across the state to identify the addiction pattern, because the last study was done in 2019 and after the COVID has come and gone, we don't know what things have changed. But definitely the pattern of addiction in educational institutions will be different from what we see in the other part of the society. So if MCCA can take an initiative, probably do a sample survey, like you say, if it's going to be a drug addiction survey, nobody's going to answer. So we need to identify how the questions are being posed, what kind of test can be conducted. For example, in Tiruvallur, Mr. Prabhu Shankar, when he was collector, what he did is he just did the oral health survey in some government schools in a particular block. Through that, he was able to identify the tobacco addiction pattern, because the tobacco addiction will leave some signs and traces in the oral cavities. So we have to sit with these people who conduct regular surveys, psychologists who can frame questions and take it forward. Probably as a pilot project, if MCCA is willing to do, NCB will also help the MCCA in getting the necessary permissions and coordination with the colleges so that that can be done.
That's a wonderful thought, sir. As you pointed out in your the slides, there was something neglected childhood. See, we have a different one which we have identified earlier in 2016 onwards. We follow this pattern. We have three categories of students. One who's staying in hostel will be in complete control of us. and one who are staying with the parents. They will be control of the parents. There are set of students who are staying away from the parents, not in hostel, not with the parents, and those are the vulnerable groups. We have identified them and we have segregated them. We have a special monitoring which is not known to them directly. We have a kind of policing with the students, what is happening. They are staying with other college students, and there the problem is getting arise. So we are that was really we need to make this survey, and I like to have a point from you. What are the questions that, as you pointed out, we cannot be directly as in drug or it has to be a silent survey. So let this election get over. We are in mode of conduct. No surveys will possible in next 2 months. So after that, we like to make this as in where any institution and these students are highly with digital. We can share the forms, and filling forms has become an habit for the students. We'll try this. And Narendra, it's a good idea. We have to make this, and we can also understand the pattern and try to eradicate in the initial stages. That will be good. Prevention is better than cure, always.
Mr. Arvindan, I just want to ask you, I mean, is this because we have started talking about this drug abuse in the last, say, 7 years or 6 years, whatever? Was it not there so much earlier, or is it coming to the surface only now? Or
Madam,
is it really a recent phenomena? And in that case, what exactly is the basic fundamental cause? We have done, as you see, different reasons, but what exactly has triggered that? Because we didn't hear when probably 10 years back even. Was it there, but it was not coming to surface, or is it really happening in the last few years?
I'm
If that
sorry, I
case,
don't know. The easy availability has become a problem now.
Correct.
why that then? I mean, then there is a chain of
Madam,
things.
we
We
are in
have
an
to.
open forum,
I
and we
can
know.
share from my
Okay,
experience. Even
we have to go to the
10,
root
15
cause.
years, even 10, 15 years also, this problem of drug addiction was there. But this explosion in the availability of synthetic drugs has happened very recently. And addiction is always there. Like the society, as I said, some part of the society will be always addicted to something. But the sudden advent of technology, COVID, which resulted in lack of access to alcohol, has actually completely changed the dynamics. After COVID, all the relaxations came in, the ease of availability of synthetic drugs suddenly increased. So that's why we are still shooting in the dark. We don't know the exact addiction pattern presently in educational institutions, also in the society, without conducting a survey. This is high time we conduct a survey. So it might be a social media exaggeration also, because whenever there is a crime happening, they say that the person who committed the crime was in ganja bodai, like that. It comes in the media, like it becomes a convenient narrative without absence of a proper conclusive test and evidence. The media just on social media also jumps into a conclusion. So it's high time we conduct a study and identify whether this addiction has really increased or it's only being portrayed that way.
The other point is the nexus between this drug abuse and the crimes. And that, as you see, people have to come out boldly, but then that becomes all the more touchy subject, because these people are also fearing that they can be harmed, or because the kind of vulnerability that goes around this. Because as Dr. Girish also said, they don't know what is happening. The people who take drugs do not really realize what they are doing. So it becomes all the more a kind of a risk factor for the people who really want to come to the front stop or complain. I mean,
this is again very debatable, ma'am, because we don't know whether it is causative. If you look at the per capita consumption of alcohol, Austria is the country which has the highest per capita consumption of alcohol, probably first or second. Germany, Austria. If you look at the European countries, and India is nowhere. If you look at the per capita consumption of alcohol alone, and the relationship between alcohol consumption and crime, if it is there, it should be very high in those countries. So we can't conclusively say that whether this drug addiction is a cause for crime or it is used as being as a cover. நான் போதையில இருந்ததுனால எனக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியல அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதை ஒரு கவரா யூஸ் பண்றாங்கன்றது இல்லை. So whether this is causative or not is also not clearly established.
I think it starts off as a curiosity during a party get together or a post exam get together. It starts off like that, then subsequently one particular group will fall into an academic pressure, failure, not knowing what to do, and they become an addict based upon the friends that they are associated with, and they put them into this trap. This is the vicious cycle that goes on.
So the peer group influence is the major.
Yes.
The peer group influence is the major. And madam, your point is that there are two liquids which is majorly running the government. One is petroleum and other one is the thing. So it is we have to tap those things in different manner. Let us protect these people. That's what the ultimate, which is in within our control. Let's start doing that in an effective manner, as pointed out by IPS sir and Doctor. We need to make a survey and identify the pattern. If you can break that pattern, then you will be able to protect them and save them from the future. They are the future asset of our nation. We have to save them.
Absolutely. I fully agree. Can't agree more. Yeah.
That's so. This has been a fantastic session. Thank you, madam. Thanks for making it happen. So it's been a great opportunity. Over to you.
Yeah, Professor
Any
Sridhar.
questions? Just ask
Sridhar,
for.
Yes, ma'am.
would you want to add anything before closing?
Hey, absolutely fine. It's only thing as a committee will certainly look in for how to go forward and conducting a survey. I find after listening to Mr. Aravindan on the data that was given and being part of some 40 institutions in our committee and more members, it certainly we can do that, but we'll figure it out a way to certainly take this as an initiative. And as a chamber, 178 years young, and we have the wherewithal to do. We'll take the support of certainly the government and seniors like Dr. Girish to guide us in doing that, because this is going to be an important thing. And not only with the tier one city, as Mr. Arundan was saying on the Kalakurchi side, it's a big thing to know that digital move, our last mile reach of digital has gone on a negative way on this today's ideation. So it's great to hear. And if we don't have any more questions, we can go for vote of thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, please proceed.
Like it's the thanks to each one of you, Mr. Aravindan, Dr. Girish, and Mr. Sai Ram, our chairman, Dr. Sai Prakash, our chairman, and also Secretariat for ensuring that we have the session. Though it's a very big learning exercise, being a chemistry student earlier, and the amount of impact that ways of drugs and the impact that gives, impact that happens on the body is a lesson which we picked up from Dr. Girish. And if I had to go on the chronological way of presentation, Mr. Aravindan's highlight on various types of drugs, and hydrophobic is a new thing which we came to know, which we have to be cautious on that. And also the amount of dark web which goes into in the logistics and also the cryptocurrency. If our children are using that, we should be aware why they are using a cryptocurrency. Might be a way of awareness to add it to the drug abuse also. And ease of access, e-commerce, and one of the ways to prevent is block the access in the colleges or in the house, which needs to be looked in. And learning that Goa and Kasol are various parts of where the density of drugs is huge. If students are going for that tour or something, we should be aware, and people whoever is accompanying the students should be warned of that place, as the uh, bring in sensitivity among the students. And we came to know about the various reasons why students get into drugs, and the various ways of acts, which I find orientation is a very important thing. As a committee, we will drive that amongst the colleges and our education institutions, because awareness of orientation of drugs itself will create not a fear, at least sensitize the students, and they will, even if somebody is in the cat on the wall, we can avoid him to get into the drugs, this thing. And SOP for the management and professors also is a must to do, to be looked in. And I think in the orientation session, even for the faculty every year or once in a quarter, and also for when the orientation for the students happen during the colleges, it's a must to do. We can create a note and share it in our committee members. And then we came to know about the various ways of severity of punishments. I think the students should be aware of it, like how we have displayed all our labor laws and all the regulations. I think this laws also should be displayed prominently in the students, at least near the hostels or wherever so that people can be aware of it. And periodic inspection of colleges and what we can do and what not to do by the management and professors and teachers is a good input for us. And from Dr. Girish, no to drug and yes to good life. I think this can be a big poster in every wall in the college, wherever students are going to be seeing that on a day-to-day basis. And as the slogan goes, what are the reasons for stress and why is that we have to handle? Again, was well enumerated by Dr. Girish. And another impacting factor, which as a professor also I would like to take it up and emphasize, is when students are spending in the classroom, few observations from the teacher will go a long way in saving a kid. Because at the end of the day, students are kids in the classroom, and that is the important thing, which as a professor, I would like to emphasize to the participants who are here. And also on the importance of narcotic drugs and act. Might be we can take it as a poster and share it to wherever possible, and we'll take guidance on from the Mr. Aravindan and his team to how to go about in displaying these acts, or what is the best way to, without affecting the morale of the students and the campus, we should take it as a format. And it was a wonderful session, and thanks to Mr. Aravindan and Dr. Girish, and that too for being there for working day for 2.5 hours for IPS person, and Dr. Girish, such an eminent person, speaks volume about your social impact that you're creating. And thanks to our chairman and secretariat on organizing this wonderful initiative. Thanks to the participants being here. Yeah. Thanks to all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Big thanks.
Thank you.
Those would have left.